Good day, Abians. I remain Eminike Rebu, the anchor of this show, Focal Points. On Focal Point, we discuss with politically exposed individuals and other Abians of interest so that we can move our conversations to the next level. Today we have with us one of the gubernatorial candidates during the 2019 election. He will give us in depth about himself so that people can know him very well. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you, Chief.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
A pleasure.
Can you tell us exactly more about yourself?
Okay, my name is Joe Nkoro. I'm a mechanical engineer. I happen to be the governorship candidate for the Young Progressives Party in the just concluded elections. And we thank God for the experiences.
Obviously, you're one of the young people that came on the ballot.
Yeah.
You came up for YPP.
Yeah, the Young Progressives Party.
The elections have come and gone, and we knew that so many of the young people took advantage of the not too young to run bill to fly themselves on the ballot. After the election, what is your experience concerning that bill and then its reality?
All right, the bill is a very good turn for Nigeria, but we still have a very long way to go. You see, having not too young to run is a very good thing. But then what about the money? Because you find out that in elections, Nigerian politics, you actually need money. Now, having reduced the age for elections, for elective positions, making it open for young people to participate in the electoral process, the problem is now money. How are you going to solve that? So without money in politics, you're sunk. You're just nothing, because that is the polity of Nigeria today.
Okay, but let's actually discuss moving forward of the system properly. Does money politics, is it helping our democracy?
Oh no. That is the flaw in our electoral process, and that is what has to change. You see, we are working on changing the electoral process, because no matter what we do, using the template that we have now, we will never have a feasible, free and fair election, so to speak. So unless something is done to change, at least we go electronic, so that you will change there will be no need to pay agents. You will reduce the expenditures in politics if you go electronic. So you see that the right people will come out and have the vote of the people. You see people who might really want to vote you, but they are very hungry to do that. So they will go for 500.
There's also a view that money politics is the bedroot of corruption in our system.
Exactly.
Do you buy into that idea?
Oh, exactly. It is the bane of Nigerian politics. And that is the reason of the protracted failure in governance we see in most states. Because when somebody that has money and has nothing else, or possibly some godfather, wins an election, you don't expect him to do anything. So that is why we are concurrently suffering in Nigerian politics. As far as money politics is concerned, nothing goes further than what it is now.
So in your own advice, if we need to move our political system forward to a more reasonable extent, what would you advise INEC to do in that respect?
Initially, our problems were having the right people fielding themselves for elections coming out. But now that's no longer the problem. The problem is the right people comes out, but they don't have what it takes to win the election, and that is about money. We need to remove money in the polity of Nigeria, and I'm advising the INEC to consider electronic voting, because that is what we are fighting for and asking for, so that whoever wins an election actually wins. So you don't have to have all the money.
Can't it be hacked? Can't it be hacked?
Like what's going on? Like what's going on in the INEC server?
That's the problem. We say INEC server was there before.
Oh yeah.
Now it has disappeared.
There is a complicity in that INEC server stuff.
Yes.
So, but if Nigeria intends to do something right, we have the wherewithal, we have the money to do what is right. We have everything it takes. The technicians, we have everything to do what it takes to get Nigeria working. But we need to fight for that, man. We need to fight for that.
Okay. Nigerians and Abians, we've been hearing from a 2019 gubernatorial aspirant for the YPP in Abia State, Mr. Nkoro. Mr. Nkoro,
thank you.
We're really appreciating this period.
Thank you very much.
Moving forward, Mr. Nkoro.
Chief.
the current government or Governor Nkoro Abia State have been sworn in for the second term.
Oh, yeah.
And we are trying to set agenda for him. What would be your advice? What do you think were the issues in his last 4 years, and how do you think he should resolve them moving forward?
Abia State is beset on all sides by a myriad of problems that needs to be sorted out urgently. And I will assure you that we have a manifesto, or manifestos, all of us that contested this election, that solved most of the problems in Abia State. At least I know I have solutions for most of the problems that I have very keen interest in. Now, the first advice I will give our Excellency, the Governor, is to look into revenue generation. There's a whole lot of corruption in that. To look into the infrastructural deficit and the welfare of our workers, because our workers are actually the engine house of the state, the mechanism of the state. They oil it so that things work out right. Now, he should also look into education. Our education system is going down. So now, actually, we, the former Guba candidates, we've actually come together as I speak. We are working on agendas to help His Excellency, because we intend to assist in the working of Abia State. Now, again, initially, I actually opposed Okezie Igbazu, who actually is from my side. You know, the Abia. I was also covered by the charter, the equity charter, because I'm from Abia South, Aba South actually. But I opposed them because of things I thought weren't going right in Abia State. But now, those things need to be looked into. Those things really need to be looked into, especially, I also think that the election litigations and all were also a distraction. As at last, you asked me what happened last dispensation. So I'm thinking that the litigations, protracted litigations up from 2015 to 2017, this man was in court. So I feel all those things are distractions. So that is why I wish to also use this opportunity to call on my colleagues who are in court it is their right to go to court, but to consider the effect of this thing on the state. So we can come together and tell our Excellency, His Excellency, see, these are the parts you need to look into. We have agendas to get things working in Abia State. We only need him to have this spirit of workmanship, to have this spirit to make things work in Abia State. Surely it will work.
Thank you very much, Abians, for staying tuned to us. Our 2019 Guba candidate for YPP is still here with us, and our discussion continues. It's for you to listen and enjoy it. Okay. If you are to set agenda for the governor, things that you think that he needs to look into immediately.
Okay.
Consider no more as a supposed capital city, Anaba. What are those things you can advise him to look into immediately?
Infrastructure and the youth. You see, we have a very poor infrastructure capital, and now I guess that is as a result of revenue allocation or generation, internally generated revenues, which there is this, corruption in it.
Explain further that corruption in that internal generated revenue.
We are told that our IGR is below 900 million or so. That cannot be true. In a month, that below 900 million, that cannot be true. Now, given the way the allocations of the internally generated revenue, how they collect it, the remittance and all, you will see that there is a huge lacuna from the point of collection of these taxes to remittance. So that what happens in between, you see, lots of money is lost, and that is because of third party cash handling.
So if you were to handle it, if you were the governor and want to do it, how would you have done it?
I will automate it. I will automate the process. There should never
have you considered the populace who you are automating it for, the market women? How would they go and pay those money?
Oh, sure. It can be done because there is already a template for collection, automated. There will be, okay, look at, let me give you an example of Kaduna State. Everything that happens in Abia State happens in every other state, like the market women and all those things. There is a targeted a market, and people whose sole duty is to go and collect these revenue agents, and these people collect these things and pay directly to the bank.
There is still the lacuna.
No, there is
because there is still a third party there.
The
agent
collection.
Yes, how do you go about it?
Now, the agency is okay. Let me paint a picture. The agency is now an office. You go there to pay directly. It goes to the bank. They collect it. You don't have to maybe.
So the market women are supposed to go to the agent.
They will go to the agent and pay. All we have to do, give you a receipt. A receipt generated from the machine. Tell her. All we have to do is just go. The people will be going, checking out, have you paid, and that's just it. But the money goes straight, automated, straight to the account, a single account. You see that by the time you remove the third party cash handling,
but how do you think that can be removed? Where these people were integral part of your winning election. If you contested for an election and these talks played a role in making you win, how would you just pull them out of the street like that?
That is the problem. That is the very problem we are having. But there's got to be other ways to do this. There's got to be other ways. There are stuff you can give them, not Abia State money. You can decide to be paying them for their services, whatever services. Give them allocate a particular amount of money to them, but not them deciding what they will give the government and what they will take.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about you now. Okay, before we talk about you, there is this notion or this rumor that all of you that contested also had gathered yourself to support the governor because of some things you're expecting to come from the government to your pockets.
Is it before the election or after the elections?
Before the election.
I never supported the governor before the election.
What about after the election?
After the election, we intend to work with him. All of us, both the people that supported and people that weren't in support, we intend to work for the benefit of Abia State. Yes.
Okay. There's no other personal interest involved in it.
Oh, if there is, that will be personal anyway. But as far as we are together as a forum, we intend to work with Abia State as our sole priority, not personal. Whatever, if you work for a state, if you work for people, you must gain something back. You must. Once you're working for people, you must get, even if
what is charity? You can actually spend your money in charity.
Even if you spend money in charity, you will get something in return. Even if it's a good name, even if it's fame or good, you'll be known for something.
Okay, you have a point there.
Yes.
2019 has come and gone.
Exactly.
You're a young man. Yeah. I believe you have a lot of aspirations.
Yes.
And a lot of young men outside there have actually picked cues from you.
Yes, that's true.
What next about Nkoro? What again do we expect from you?
Well, I'm not done with politics. I learned a lot. I learned a lot in this political dispensation. I learned a lot in the polity and the electioneering period. I learned a lot. And I intend to work on that. And I intend to grow. I can only get better. As you see now, I'm a member of the former ex-governorship candidates in Abia State. And we are working on things for the betterment of Abia State. And as long as we remain relevant in the polity of Abia State, we will continue growing. And Abia State will be good, because that is the very first thing that motivated me. You know, initially, I was always complaining on Facebook. What is going on in Abia State? What is this? What is this? And every young guy, just like every other young person, talking. But I realized, if I don't do this thing now, there may not be another time to salvage Abia State. But I found out that our problem is the youth. In fact, we have a lot of problems. The young people are not ready.
How do you mean young people are not ready?
The young people are not ready. I'll tell you why. You see, we said a lot of things on Facebook. All they said, they were so ready. You know, the young people are the largest population in any population. They are the largest set. Now, you see the young people being distracted. These people said a lot of things. Anybody the young people supports will definitely win any election. But during the election, we saw them drinking and voting, eating. People voted because of food. Actually, I know somebody that told me, sorry, this man gave me food. My conscience will not allow me to vote against him. And now I want to use this opportunity to ask those people that have this notion that said that thing. Have you eaten since that time? Have you eaten another food since that time? That's the problem we have. A lot of youths even fought for money. Now you see people now asking for 10,000 agency. That they to be your agent because you are fighting for them. Because God knows I was fighting for the young people in Abia State. Now you see them asking you for 10,000. You're going to pay that 10,000 times 16, 1,675 polling units across Abia State. They wanted that 10,000. And aside it, nothing. You will not win. So that's the problem. And if we get an electoral process that has electronic in it, that will remove this agency something. And all.
Do you think there is any hope in the future that money will not be involved in our politics in Abia State in Nigeria?
Money will always be a part of everything. But if we can reduce the power of money, we can. If we go electronic, then the power of money will be reduced. Now there will be no fraudulent activities in elections. Once they are counting the election, it is being transferred, and you're seeing it real time. PDP 1, PDP 2.
Okay, let me ask you one last question before your final take.
Please.
Are you going to run for a lower office in 2023?
I will wait till 2023. The dynamics, Abia State politics and the polity of Nigeria is very dynamic. But I don't think I can go lower than mine. But I will see the dynamics at the time. Yes.
Okay.
So
finally,
leave it at that.
Finally, look at the camera and tell. And you just talked about the youth of Abia not being serious for what they really want. Talk to them in the next 1 minute.
Thank you very much, dear Abia youths. I need us to consider what we really want and separate it for what we need. You see, you may be hungry now, but look beyond your hunger. See what you actually want and fight for it. When you are in school, you want to graduate an engineer, you stay hungry sometimes, you make all the sacrifices just to be an engineer or to graduate. Consider it like that and think about the future of Abia State. Think about your parents and fight for them. We can come together and create a better Abia State. Everything is in our hands. I'm calling on us to come together and have a definite agenda for the prosperity and well-being of Abia State. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, my chief.
Thank you, Abians. You've heard from Mr. Nkoro, the YPP gubernatorial candidate for the 2019 election. He has spoken his mind, and it's up to you to make a decision on what he said. Thank you, and God bless. And stay tuned on Abia Online TV. God bless you.